Hello, hello, hello. Let me check in with the first chapter of Bttr Hny Brd Pg by Francesca Ishiwashi. Oh, gonna have to try and work on that. Um, which is a 2020 novel, I think, a Canadian novel by um, a Nigerian Canadian Francesca Jueji, God, which I've just done kind of the first half of part one, which is like the first two tracks. Um, and it is following uh, three women, mother and two twins. The mother um, is or is inhabited by a spirit that makes the unnatural choice to inhabit a human body. And it's almost a thing of like, as they present flashbacks of her as a child, it's like she's got voices in her head. It's it's sort of the expression of mental illness in a way. This, I think I had this as also with Freshwater, of kind of struggling how to define in terms. I mean, I guess you have to just sort of accept this is the world, which is the joy of a novel. Is you say, okay, I'm going to actually put aside my Western ideas of mental illness and say she has voices, she's a spirit, she's, as they tell it, she kind of she comes into the world a couple of different times, dies, comes back, dies, comes back. Um, so yeah, a lot of infant death at the very beginning until decides to live, and with a mother who doesn't really particularly like her, father who's really doting on her, gets sent to boarding school. Sort of where we're with her. And then we have her two twin daughters much later. One who has stayed in Nigeria, the other one, which for reasons we don't know at this point, had moved to Canada and is now coming back. And as she's coming back, she's reading through a bunch of letters that her twin sister sent to her, or meant to send to her. We'll get into that, but there's this big box, and she's slowly going through them, and it's big, long, looping letters. And I guess we'll learn about that. And she's having a little bit of kind of culture shock coming back to Nigeria, and just sort of like, oh, Lagos, and like, oh, the poverty, um, the smells, the memories, the everyone's living in kind of compounds surrounded by, high fences with barbed wire or electrical wires stretched taut, um, and yeah, she's come back into her room where it's like there's all these books that she read, some of them, assigned reading, which are kind of the greats of literature in the continent of Africa, and other ones that she actually read willingly, which are like Harry Potter, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, that sort of stuff. Um, so yeah, and we get shifts in perspective, getting it from the spirit. It's like there's only we, and going down to her, but and we have kind of a third person, and we have a first person. So we're getting a variety of different of point of views, each one used for a different character to kind of differentiate them. Even though when you're listening to it in audio, you still have to kind of catch. It's like, oh shit, we suddenly went from the daughter coming back to flashback of a young mother as a child in the school and stuff like that. This is one of these things I can see myself re-listening to just to try and get it into my head. I might actually just kind of go back and re-listen to this section and come back and talk about it again. So yeah, that's about where I'm at for this part of uh, honey butter honey pig bread. Butter honey pig bread. I think that I can get. And then I just have to get actual names so I'm not a complete jackass. Alright, more videos later.